So I'm so these I don't know, the numbers are so huge. Say hi to my friends.
What's up? How you doing?
Meek's on the media team.
Yep, I am.
You went and visited. Hey, Joel!
What?
Come be in my video.
Who is this?
This is my update to all my friends.
Hey, he's doing awesome. He's doing well. I'm taking care of him.
Yeah, give him an update about my life.
Okay, here's John Mark crowd surfing.
He's our dad.
Hey, tell him your favorite story from your trip around the world. They did a media trip all around the world.
I'm kind of biased, but I really liked Norway.
Of course you did.
But there's really good reason why. I always thought Norway was really boring and that God wouldn't move there. But I realized that street evangelism in first world countries is some of the funnest thing on planet Earth. You know, you'd expect everybody has at least like heard the gospel. But
Yeah.
there was like mid-20s, early 30s people who's like, oh no, I've actually never heard the gospel.
There was this time when we were in Norway, the very last day, where we both saw this lady walk by, and we looked at each other. We're like, yeah, let's go. And Meek taps her on her shoulder, and he doesn't really have anything to say. God just told us to go and speak to her without actually giving us anything. And she turns around, and she's like, are you from God? And we're like,
Wild.
we're like, yeah, we're from God. And she just starts weeping, and she starts confessing all her sins and telling us her whole life story. She's been beaten by men. She's been just very abused her whole life. But God just showed us, how easy it is. Like, we don't necessarily have to have the right words or even the right plan to walking up to somebody, but He's calling us to walk up to everybody. And it made me wonder how many people are waiting for that. How many people are waiting to be tapped on the shoulder and to hear the good news.
So good.
Come on.
That was good.
Story.
Thanks. It was an amazing story. Mark me.
You're so good on the spot.
It was just one night where everything boiled down and I finally hit my breaking point. And I just hopped on my bike and I decided to run away from my problems. And I just started biking. And not even 3 minutes into my bike, I see this moto accident. And as I get closer, I see somebody just laying on the ground. And it was a man who was dying. His head was cracked open, there was blood spilling out. His eyes were rolled into the back of his head. And at that moment, God told me, what are you going to do? And so any feeling that I had of anger or frustration just immediately disappeared. And I just got on my knees and I started praying for life for this man again. And as I kept praying, my co-teacher who happened to be there, he started wrapping his shirt around his head to contain the blood. And we just pray for life into him. And as I keep pressing into the Lord and just start repenting, his eyes start to shift back into focus. His lungs just started breathing. He got up, he started asking questions like what happened, and we were just like, bro, you've been in a bad accident, just stay with us. And we got him to the hospital. And in the end, he only had to get a few stitches in the back of his head. No brain damage, no paralysis, no broken bones. And it was at my lowest point at outreach that God showed me, I can still use you and I will redeem you.
100 students that gave their lives to Jesus.
We got to see about 6% of a people group get saved.
What? He walked with a crutch in the air, proclaiming God's faithfulness.
And several times we'd see people healed.
She was also almost completely blind.
And it got healed.
She was fully healed.
She said she had a breast cancer, so we prayed for her. Saw countless healing. Literally did not recognize her.
He could start hearing fully.
I heard a pop in the back of my head and I haven't been able to get a migraine yet.
Before she looked like 60, now she looked like 30.
And her friend's doing this. Like, hey, what's up?
Completely healing.
I no longer have diabetes.
She said, yeah, I was healed from my cancer.
I hope you can just feel the excitement that our students have coming back together. I mean, just think about it. They're 20 years old. They they took this risk that, gosh, if God's real, he can use me, and they just come back with these crazy stories. There's so much more than I was able to share in this. I'm gonna put the link below. I'm just so blown away at how God uses our simple, dorky attempts to do some astonishing things. And I think what demonstrates it maybe most is the Philippines. We partnered with 48 different high schools, and they invited us to come in, and we did whole school assemblies. But we went, and they said this was the most impactful part. They went to every single classroom, 2 by 2, our students, and they went in and they just shared their story, talked about how much Jesus changed their life, and then they said, do you guys want to experience the same love? Do you want to start a relationship with Jesus? And they said classroom after classroom, the whole, like, everybody's hands went up and said, yes, I want to experience that. And they saw 2 red light districts close, and in the end, 34,000 students, 34,198 of these students in the Philippines made a commitment to follow Jesus. It was 22% of the entire youth population in the area. So I just feel so pumped to get to do this day in and day out. And I hope you guys feel a part of this as much as you can, because I can't do this. I can't be here without you guys. And so I appreciate your support, and it matters so much. let's just think about the Philippines and those high school kids, and not everybody else, but the ones dealing with self-hatred or depression, or the ones that needed healing, to have, you know, these 20-year-olds come and say, God sees you, he's real. Think about that. Matters so much to those students in their lives, and the fact that we got to do it to 34,000 people just blows me away. So thank you. Watch those other videos. They're the best, and love you guys.